Hey guys, welcome back. Lunch with the lawyer. Lunch with two lawyers today. I got with me my good buddy Rcky Haire.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
We're dressed alike, got alike ties. That was not planned, but hey, might as well be.
Great minds think alike, right?
Yeah, both good-looking, dapper gentlemen who have a sense of style.
Absolutely.
You know, that's what we're known for. All right, guys. So Rcky Haire, RockyHaire.com. Is that correct?
Yep.
You're a personal injury lawyer. You do car accidents, whatever people are injured, and it's somebody else's fault, right?
I get all kinds of stuff. In fact, I just got back. I just came from the hospital where I was signing up a case where the junkyard operator of the big electromagnet dropped probably upwards of 2 ton worth of metal on top of my client. He's in a medically induced coma, and he actually looks like he's had a engine block dropped on him. It's terrible. But we take all kinds of stuff, and that's just one example. We take dog bites, car wrecks, airplane accidents, which surprisingly we have several of, and just any kind of injury that's not your fault.
Yeah, and that's like pretty much a horror movie. Dude, having that right? I mean, the big magnet thing dropping on you? Like, it's pretty crazy.
I can't believe it, man. I looked at this dude, and I mean, you just imagine what somebody would look like after having something like that happen. And he's probably paralyzed. They don't know yet. They've done an MRI on his back, and they're going to do back surgery, and they're going to keep him in this medically induced coma so he doesn't move. Which it's that delicate of back surgery. If he wiggles or twitches, it could paralyze him. So it's really a bad situation, and it's going to come down to how much insurance this junkyard has.
Yeah, that's the crazy part, right?
Always, man.
The crazy part is, in the end, it's about the insurance, right?
Yeah.
And if you're lucky, it's a ridiculously profitable junkyard that you can get money above the insurance company. But as far as I don't know any junkyard millionaires, and most of them are operating under, corporations and shell corps and all that stuff, and so they have some protection. And so likely the insurance is all you get.
We're hoping that, yeah, it actually sort of surprised me because they had photos of the junkyard, and it looks actually pretty nice.
Oh.
So, like, they had a nice sign, and
Yeah.
so, and it's in Decatur. So I just have no idea what we're in for, but we're certainly hoping that it's going to be, a sizable policy. In a case like this, if he's paralyzed, my last paralysis case we settled for $5.6 million, and it's just one of those horrific injuries that you wouldn't trade, man. How many people would trade their legs for any amount of money?
And hey, man, there's a lesson there. Here's what I say. Carry lots of insurance on everything.
Yep.
Not necessarily because you want to pay, but you're not paying.
That's right.
But because you want the person you accidentally hurt.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's your fault. We've all done something that's stupid. Look down at your phone or whatever. The person you accidentally hurt, you want them to be compensated.
Yeah.
You don't want them to have $150,000 in medical bills and you got $30,000 in insurance.
That's the truth.
Right? And they're probably not going to come after you, but the more insurance you have, the way less likely it is they're going to come after you.
That's right.
And so carry good insurance, car insurance, whatever.
That's true. And insurance companies don't, they really, the agent is not going to try to sell you a huge policy.
No.
Because it's not that expensive. It's really not that much more. I've got $2 million in insurance with an umbrella, and it costs probably $60 more a month. So it's not that big a deal. Personal injury protection, call your agent right now as you're listening to this and tell them you want PIP added to your policy.
Definitely.
It's nothing.
That's just an additional protection for you, right?
Yep.
And it helps you, and it's almost nothing to have.
And it's free money. It's perfectly legal to get paid by the insurance company. They caused the accident. They paid for your medical bills. Then you can submit your same medical bills to your PIP carrier, and they'll pay you twice.
There you go.
And it's perfectly legal double dipping. So,
right.
They don't want you to buy it. They don't even want you to know about it. But ask them for it.
And so, personal injury lawyers, like criminal defense lawyers, maybe even not as much. Who's more hated, personal injury lawyers or criminal defense lawyers?
You know, it depends on when you need one.
Well, when you need one, they're never hated. I've never been hated by my client when they're innocent.
No.
Need a good attorney.
No,
and I'm sure you've never been hated by your client when you're recovering money for them that they wouldn't have otherwise.
You know what?
But what do you think overall? What do you think? Personal injury or criminal defense?
I think it's criminal defense.
Yeah, I agree.
People get on this high horse and they go, "How can you represent that rapist?"
Yeah, exactly.
And you don't know. I mean, I go to parties all the time. I used to happen a lot more when I did a lot more criminal defense.
Yeah.
But that would always be the question. How can you represent someone who you know who they did it?
Yeah.
And how do you, Seth?
It's real easy. I don't have any guilty clients, really. Here's the thing. Now again, sure, I got guys on probation that I'm trying to get them the lesser amount of probation. I haven't represented someone who violated probation for assaulting a child or doing anything to a child. But all my other clients are innocent. That's what I try to tell people. People act like you're charged with something, so you must be guilty. And what's crazy is then you go, so they're guilty. No, of course not. No, they have all the constitutional protections as anybody. And I'm like, so they haven't had trial yet. Yes. So in the eyes of the law, they're innocent, right? Yeah. That's how I represent them. They're innocent and they got to be proven guilty. And if I think they're grossly guilty, sure, I can withdraw. But here's what I tell people. Another lawyer was saying, a criminal defense lawyer said, I wouldn't represent a guy like this. And it was a guy who was charged of a child sex crime. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But I've represented guys who did not commit the crime they were accused of, even to that degree. And so it's a weird thing. Can you imagine you're accused of something like that?
Yeah.
You're accused of something like that. The level for indictment is probable cause. So there's just probable cause. And there's a huge, giant chasm between probable cause and beyond a reasonable doubt. And you didn't do it. And you call a criminal defense attorney. And what does that criminal defense attorney tell you? Sorry, man. I don't do that kind of cases. Yeah, that's kind of gross. Those cases are gross. I don't do those, dude. Can you imagine what you then think the jury is going to think? Can you imagine what the jury does think? Now you want to know, so now you're talking about this guy's going to get in front of a jury and a criminal defense lawyer already thinks he's a scumbag. Can you imagine you didn't do something and now you have to sit in front of that jury? How likely are you to plead to a lower count of something you didn't do if the case is bad? Okay. It happens all the time. It's the plea trial.
I remember going into it was one of my criminal defense cases, and I asked the jury. We were doing voir dire, and I said, how many of you walked in here and wondered what my client did? And all of them assumed that he had done something. And one of them said, actually, I thought you were the criminal. And talking to me, because my client was this, dapper-looking guy with a gray beard, and I guess he looked more like a lawyer than I did. I was in my 20s. But it's crazy that people just assume the worst, and they think that because you're here, that you must have done something. And they say you can indict a ham sandwich.
Yes.
That's true.
No, for sure.
Absolutely true.
For sure.
And so you get a cop that thinks maybe you did it or that needs to close a case and that just wants to push this thing, and you end up in the crosshairs and you didn't do it. What a horrifying place to be.
That's the biggest thing I talk to my jury about, which is you can indict a ham sandwich. Well, the reason that is because you kind of should be able to. It's probable cause. That's a very low standard.
Yeah, I think it's more likely than not that you did something.
Yeah, not even not likely not. Yeah, I think there's reason to believe you did something, right?
Right.
So that's down here, and reasonable doubt is way up here. And what I ask a jury is, how many people get dismissed in between there? If justice is served and your bar for being indicted is down here, and your bar for being convicted is up here, just naturally, there should be lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of cases being dismissed.
Okay, when you're going
or
down,
not guilty,
when you're going down that path, and you're in voir dire, can you feel them start to loosen up a little bit?
Yes. At this point, when you explain that, when you say how many not guilty should there be in any given month? If they indict on probable cause, and what I do is I say in the room, if that first door you walked in, anybody over 5'4" can get in. And that second door, anybody over 6 foot can get in. How many people are going to be trapped in that little lobby right there? They 5'4" to get in, 6'4" to get in the second, 6 foot to get in the second door. How many people are going to be trapped in that lobby? That's not guilty. That's what should be happening. A few 6 foot people, because that's probable cause. The 5'6" and 6 foot is beyond a reasonable doubt.
Interesting.
And how many people are trapped in the lobby right now? Almost none. So I go, look, you are supposed to either be indicting more people or convicting less people, because that's the standard we have by law. But that's the way I represent them, which is, listen, all I want is fair. The system is going to work. I have yet to have a obviously guilty person just completely walk away scot-free. And if you abused a child here in Texas and you're found guilty or plead guilty, and there was a good case against you, you were obviously guilty. Me and you both know you ain't walking out of that courtroom.
No.
You're getting 25.
Yeah, right?
25, no parole.
Okay.
No parole.
All right. Now, let me ask you something about this. Now, I've had some interesting experience with this, and that is eyewitness identification.
Yes.
One of the things I used to do, and it was nervy, man, because it never backfired.
Yes.
But looking back on it, I'm like, God, what was I thinking? But I would turn around once I had the voir dire underway, and I would ask one of the people what color my tie was. And it was usually some color, obvious bright green or some kind of obvious color, and they never could tell me.
Look, the eyewitness identification is crazy, because it's the problem, which is you walk up to me in the middle of the night, you sock me, and you run off. Take my money and run off, right? Well, what else is there? Well, now we have the camera stuff. That's the beautiful part of it. But before 10, 15 years ago, nobody had cameras walking around, right? And so you want to be able to say, yeah, the eyewitness is good enough. But it just really isn't.
Right.
And that guy should get off. He probably robbed you. But if the standard of the law and the eyewitness testimony, and so you go, no, we should allow some, okay, he thought it was him and it was him. We should, but just know, I don't think we should, but if you think we should, that's fine. Maybe the citizens can vote for that, but just know that that's how these innocent guys get in jail.
Yeah,
that's how
man.
these guys of 25 years, it's almost all, I think it was 85, I just watched a program of it. I think it was 85% wrongful. It had to do with a wrongful ID.
And they came up with DNA evidence 25 years later.
Let me tell you the craziest one. Guy gets off after doing 30-something years in prison.
Oh, gosh, that hurts to hear.
For raping 2 women who were walking home in a cornfield, brutally raping both of them and beating them up, okay? So he got off because of DNA evidence 30-something years later.
It's amazing they still have
Here's
it.
the crazy part. When they did the DNA evidence, they found out that it wasn't him, it was his brother. So they knew from the DNA that it was someone related to him. They went and tested his brother, and his brother let him sit in prison for 30-something years for a crime he did. He was still alive. They indicted him. Here's the craziest part, and I say it's only crazy to me and you. It's not crazy to him. And when you think about it, he was standing by his brother saying they still got the wrong guy. And that's what you have to think, right? There's no way you as a person can sit in prison for 30 years for something you didn't do, and then when some magical person comes along and goes, hey, it wasn't you, and you go, yes, and they go, but it was your brother. There's zero chance that you can put that in your brain. Am I right? Your brother's probably been writing to you.
Dude. Or he took the heat for his brother. He could have taken the fall from him. But maybe his brother had a better life. Maybe he had kids.
Something crazy.
I mean, some people would do that, you know? I don't know.
I don't know. But that was the craziest thing.
My craziest one with eyewitness identification was I was working for the federal public defender. Kid walks up behind a car in San Antonio and shoots out the back windshield with a shotgun. He was just acting like a fool. Well, there were 2 people inside the car making out. And didn't hurt either one of them, but of course it was attempted murder. So he shoots out the back windshield, and then he sees that there's people in there. It's dark. He takes off running. Turns out the guy had Tourette's. So he gets put on a criminal lineup.
Jesus.
You know where this is going.
Yeah.
And so
he's like, fuck you.
Oh, dude, he let fly with a string of expletives that would make
God.
a sailor blush.
That is
and of
so
course,
crazy.
she identified him.
Yes.
And that case actually ended up going all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, and they determined that if you have one person with Tourette's on the lineup, you gotta have all of them with Tourette's on the lineup.
That's so. Hey, there you go.
Hey,
justice prevailed, right?
I appreciated it. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
So okay, so I wanted to get to since we're just on lunch, just having lunch before we get to these tacos, man. I want to get to a story. I had Brian Griffin in here earlier, our good friend BJ.
Yeah.
Had him in here yesterday.
Brian's one of my favorite cats.
All right, so that I posted that today. This one will be posted tomorrow on YouTube. I'll probably post it today on Facebook. But so he didn't tell a story that I wanted you to tell, which is he told the story about being in prison. How did you meet Brian Griffin?
Oh man. Okay, so I'm at my office on Locust. We used to have an office building on Locust, and I sold it anyway. That was where I was working at the time. So I'm walking out to my car, and it's probably October, and I see this angel tree application blowing around on the driveway. So I just randomly picked up the angel tree application, and it said, here's what I want for my son to have for Christmas. And I don't know how it got there or why it was there, but I picked it up and read it and thought, I wonder if this angel tree application got answered. I mean, I wonder if the guy's kid got some toys for Christmas. So I write Brian a letter in prison. And I say, hey, did your kid get the football and that stuff that you wanted for your other kid? Did that all get taken care of? Well, he never responded. So I got a bunch of toys for his kids and sent them over to his house and pretty much forgot about it. And then, it was probably like April of the next year, I get a letter back from Brian. In my letter, I had said, listen, man, I'll take care of your kids if you need me to get this stuff for you, blah, blah, blah. But also, do you need anything? I know you're in prison. You need commissary? I mean, what do people need that I can help you with? And didn't hear back from him. So, probably March or April, I get a letter back from Brian, and he's like, dude, I cannot believe you wrote me that letter. First of all, it was legal. I just wrote it on my letterhead. I didn't even think about it, but he left it on his desk.
Because the only thing illegal you get in prison is
bad news. And so he's thinking they found my plants.
Unless you have an appeal,
I'm going down for something else. He said, I stared at that stupid letter for months, just sure that it had something in it that was bad. So then I read it, and it was you offering to take care of my kids and offering to help me. And I couldn't believe it. I told my cellmates, dude, can you believe this lawyer did this? And they all said, oh, dude, this is your chance, man.
Get some money. Get a lick. He'll give you whatever you want.
Brian wrote me back, and he said, I don't want anything from you. I would love to meet you when I get out, but I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. So he got out, and I don't know. I'm sure there's a statute of limitations has long since run, but I was like, why didn't you want anything? And I'm not going to say it on this thing, but he had a really good reason why he didn't need any money, and it was because he had plenty.
But also, he's not the type of guy to take advantage. He's not that guy. Because every one of those, no matter how much money they had, every one of those convicts that were telling him to take advantage of you, they would have done it no matter how much money.
I'll tell you right now, if he had been flat broke, he would have said the same thing.
Yes.
That's Brian.
I want to tell you that because it was if you haven't watched it, go back, watch that video with Brian. Beautiful story of redemption. But you... out of the goodness, this is what I try to tell people about Rcky Haire, okay? Again, personal injury lawyer, they got their stuff, Vulture, all that
ambulance
stuff.
Chaser. I got rubber on my nose from that ambulance tire.
Yeah, and especially among lawyers who compete for that sort of stuff, they tend to go, that guy, I don't like that guy. But what I tell people is, look, man, Rcky, you can say what you want. He's got a heart of gold. That's the story I wanted you to tell, because that's it. You found this letter. You didn't even hear back from this convict. You send his kids presents. Then you keep in correspondence with them. Now, the story also didn't tell that is then you give him a job when he gets out, right?
Yeah.
And you and him start a martial arts supply business. Successful.
We became best friends, man.
Y'all became best friends. And he is successful in part because of him. Because again, the fact that he didn't take money for you is
he's a solid dude, man.
because of him. But it's also because of you. I'll tell people I'm up here in Denton because you gave me a job, and I met y'all, both of y'all together. When y'all were doing Dom gear, I was in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I said, hey, you're a lawyer, what do you got? And you said, come on up. And that's why I'm here in Denton, which is my new home. You know what I'm saying?
That's pretty cool, man.
So whenever I tell people, whatever you got to say about Rcky, I don't want to hear it. You can say whatever you want. Everybody has shortcomings, including me. I can't imagine what people say about me. But in the end, you have a good heart. And you're solid gold, man. That's all I got to say. So, again, if you have any shortcomings, this man's solid gold. That's all there is to it. He's helped more people than I know. He always is trying to figure out how to help people. Not only that, but we talk about Facebook. You're always saying, how do you see the other side of these issues and stuff like that? And so, Rcky Haire, solid gold. That's my promo for you. RockyHaire.com, all that. Let's get into real quick. So at least we can do something. Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, man.
23 years in prison. So he'd already been found guilty, so now we can say he is guilty. What a scumbag. It's a crazy thing. It's so crazy. And you talk about eyewitness stuff, right?
Yeah.
Almost everything they're accusing him of,
dude,
100% from one-on-one eyewitness testimony. He's sentenced to 23 years in prison. Now, again, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. So let me say, that guy's probably a scumbag no matter what. He's a scumbag, right? And you get what you deserve. And if he was, at the very least, I think we can all admit he was trading jobs for sex, right? Which is a creepy thing to do. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't take advantage of women who want to work by saying, give me sexual favors.
You know what the thing about that whole deal is, and I see the world way different since I had a little girl. Everything is tainted now by the fact that I have a daughter, and I see a little 4-year-old walking by, and I think you think I won't fuck you up because you're 4 years old. I mean, I'm just a whole different person.
Yep.
But
by the way, you got like 6 boys or something.
I do. So she's protected,
and she's the youngest.
Doesn't matter what happens to me, she's good. But for Weinstein to do that, it really the sick part, the twisted part about it is so many people knew that was going on, and they looked the other way, and they promoted him, and they said how great a man he is and what a philanthropist he is.
Because here's what I'll tell you, for sure, there were women who were willing to prostitute themselves to be a star. Lots of women. Okay? A, that doesn't make it okay. I really don't think that necessarily makes it okay. But B, what that does is create an environment where the girl who just wants to be a movie star off of her own success goes into this guy's office thinking, hey, I'm going to catch a break here. You know what I'm saying? He's going to sit me down, and he's going to tell me he saw me act on Broadway or saw me in this little part on this TV commercial.
Okay.
But then they sit down, and this dude knows the game. And it gets gross.
But do you have a problem with, because I think if the woman goes in there and she thinks that's what he's going to do, and maybe he does it, maybe he actually follows through, and in exchange for sexual favors, I'm going to get you this role in whatever. I don't think that's criminal, and I don't think, I think he's definitely taking advantage of his position, but that's the girl's fault just as much as it is his.
100%. But I think what he was accused of, and the question is, by the way, I know that happens, and it's not criminal. The question is, does it get to a point where he gets a girl who that's not her intention in that office? That has to happen.
Yeah.
There's no way that every girl goes in there thinking she's going to bang that gross dude. And so when you get that girl in there, are you like, okay, fine, You don't. I'll put you in the stack with everybody else. You don't want to have sex with me? I'll put you in the stack. Or does this dude go, I'm going to push that line? You know what I'm saying? Nobody's here. Lock the door. It's me versus her. Does he do that?
That's the question, because that's the disgusting part
Yes.
of when I heard girls talking about, and they would be kind of tearing up, and they all kind of had the same thread, the same sort of motif, that he would have them in his hotel room, he'd lock the door, he'd yank them over there and do his thing, and then he'd say he couldn't help it because she's so beautiful, I'm sorry, and all this bullshit. That kind of stuff makes me crazy.
Okay, and here's the problem, and here's what I tell people. He did it for how many years? If he's been doing that, he's been found guilty of it, so we can say he's been doing it. Dude. He's been doing it for how many years? Now, here's the problem. I am 100% you. I'm a libertarian. When you say, hey, I think, he's been doing it. All he was doing is trading, and then some girl got mad and just changed it. I say, okay, that could have happened. But you know what he did? He set it up so he was running a prostitution scam. And guess what? If you're trading sex for jobs, the type of ladies who will trade sex for jobs, eventually they're going to turn on you. Do you see what I'm saying? As opposed to if you're just employing girls who are employable, then when everybody comes around, when a girl comes around and says, hey man, Harvey did this, what happens? Everybody marches in and goes, Harvey would never do that.
Okay, this is a power broker. This is a power broker who had control over the top A-listers. I mean, this guy could determine whether you were going to be in his movie or not.
Make stars.
Big time star maker, king maker.
Yes.
So my question is, and my problem is, if you're going to wait 20 years to come forward, I don't think that, I think there should be a strict statute of limitations for this kind of thing, because there is no way. I have had one of my best friends, we would sit down and laugh, and we were telling stories, and he told the story, and I'm like, dude, that is so not what happened. I mean, I remember it completely different.
I agree, but here's what I say. What you didn't have is a million women going, he would never do that. Do you understand what I'm saying? You had women going, he didn't do that to me, but you didn't have, he would never do that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Just like I think if me and you were accused of something like completely dishonest, right? Being cruel to a homeless person, right? We'd have a million people going, you're not, it's not okay. Oh, Seth would never do that. Rcky would never in a million. Y'all are crazy. This is crazy. Y'all crazy. And I think if the same thing happened to Tom Hanks, you'd have probably a lot of people who knew him going, what are you talking about?
He's probably done a lot of things, but never that.
Yeah, what do you know? I've been with, that's not what you had with Harvey. And so it's back to, if he was trading, let's say he never, if they said no, he said bye, and then, by the way, didn't put him in a movie. That's still horrible behavior. You would agree?
That's terrible, but that's just...
It's not criminal. He shouldn't be sentenced to 23 years in prison, but here's what I want to say. The jury found him guilty for whatever reason. His defense had time to pick him. They found him guilty. He got 23 years.
He got life.
And if he was he got life. Yeah, look, he's done. He's probably not gonna last a few. I mean, again, prison's not a nice place.
Somebody will off him.
And by the way, he'll probably do an appeal bond and then off himself is what I would guess. That's what I'd do. But here's the thing. Honestly, if he really did do that for 40 years or however long he's doing it, and now he's this age, okay, I'm gonna be cruel here. So again, this is kind of both ways. No matter what you believe politically, it kind of goes both ways. Which is my question to you: 40 years of me, a troll, getting the hottest starlets in the world to sleep with me. Now I'm 80 something. It's a trade. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, now I got to go to jail.
Yeah.
Right.
Would he have done it anyway?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What do you think? Do you think Harvey Weinstein, you look at him and you're like, hey, man, you either got to stop this now or when you're, how old is he, 78? Something like that? I don't know. When you're old as the hills, you're going to go to prison. Man, I'm telling you right now, Harvey might be like,
still would have done it.
all right, I'll do it.
Yeah, it's worth it.
So I'm not going to stop it.
Okay. Now
right?
Here's a question for you. One of the defenses that he raised, which was pretty ironic that he would even allow his defense team. He's obviously not very vain, but they said that no girl would. But you know what? This was not raised by the defense. This had to be prosecution. But they said no girl would intentionally have sex with him because of his hygiene and because apparently there was something wrong with him sexually.
Yes.
So nobody would naturally or normally agree to have sex with this guy. I thought that was a horrible thing to raise for one thing. I mean, that's just.
Well, look. That, again, very unpopular. We're going to be Me Too'd all over. Again, I don't condone any of this. And if you're talking to me, I don't. If you're stupid, again, if you have power, if you take advantage of that power, even if somebody else is begging you to, right? If you were to exploit Brian when he came and said, hey, man, I need money. And you're like, I'll tell you what, if you smuggle in this stuff for me or do this or lie about this, then I can help you out. You're a terrible person. I don't care if they're like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, that's I understand that it is a mutual thing. It's a consensual thing.
Right.
It's consensual. But at some point, the power does make it iffy. If you have power, it's simple. Use it for good. That's it. You got power. Use it for good. And if you're using it to get sex from women that you could never get, guess what? That's creepy at best. I don't know what to tell you.
It's also the basis, I think, for the laws that teachers, professors, anyone who's in a position over a student,
these teacher things where even
no
17
sex allowed,
can't do
man.
it. And that's what all those are about. Now, that gets to what you were saying earlier. At the same time, having said all that, let's be honest when it comes to the guy and girl. If Harvey Weinstein looks like Brad Pitt and stops when he looks like Brad Pitt, it's not, nobody ever considers that. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like nobody ever, it's the dude, again,
that's horrible.
If he's just being creepy, what's creepy to Harvey Weinstein is not creepy to Brad Pitt. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
I know.
If I walk up to a girl and go, hey, beautiful, how you doing? Out of nowhere, that girl's going to be like, that dude was creepy. If I pick a hot-looking guy. I don't care. Whatever. John Hamm. George Clooney. I don't know who's hot these days.
Totally hot.
I don't know who's hot this day. But if a hot guy of any age goes up to a girl and goes, "Hey, beautiful, how you doing?" Guess what? It's not creepy.
It's a whole different deal.
It may not be. It may be like, "Hey, I got a boyfriend." I'm not saying the girl's gonna go home and bang him, but I'm just saying that's not creepy to her. She doesn't go home and go, "This creepy, beautiful man came up to me and said, how you doing?" They'd be like, "Oh my God, the hottest dude came up to me and said, how you doing?" And I had to turn him down.
Do you
That's
think
how it works.
if Weinstein had George Clooney type looks, that none of this would have ever happened?
I think none of it ever happens because honestly, I think.
Wow.
By the way, the jury, just going to tell you, you have juror members who are going to be like, you got banged by George Clooney. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be honest.
Oh my God. Yeah, you should be celebrating.
Wait, you got a part in a movie and you got to have sex with George Clooney? Like, I mean, again, you don't think George... But again, but here's the problem. All that being said, we don't pick... I didn't pick to be born with this face. You know what I'm saying? I'd have picked George Clooney. So I have to know, and at no point... Again, what we're talking about is with George Clooney, it would be consensual. If it wasn't consensual with George Clooney, he still can't be creepy, and he can't definitely not do anything that's non-consensual. Right. So, but I'm just saying, let's be realistic. Does he get 23 years if he's good looking? I don't think so. I don't think he gets pulled in the court.
No, man, dude.
It's mostly consensual. He doesn't have to make those gross deals.
First of all, he's a gajillionaire, and he's been abusing his power all these years.
Yes.
I think there was some element of stick it to him in that jury room that we're going, you know what, we got a chance to stick it to this monster.
Yes.
And that's what they did. And They shouldn't have done that.
It's a concurrent. I agree, 100%. They shouldn't have done that. Okay, so and I lost my mouse browser, by the way. Look, it's disappeared. Do you see it?
No.
I don't either. No, my mouse browser on the screen.
Oh, I thought you meant like.
No, look.
Okay, do it again.
Oh, nope. Here's why. Oh, I got it. All right, guys. So I wanted to touch on one more thing while we're at it. Okay, because we're about to eat some tacos. But you got something else that's going on? Hold on, you're stepping on my mic.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. You got something else going on. Yeah, there it is. Which is, not to tie this in with his ugly face. So you do you have a weight loss consultation center type thing? You just basically help people be healthy, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's one of the biggest things that I've got going on right now. I'm really digging this thing. Yeah.
And so basically they call this number, go to this website, it's Get Skinny Life for You, SKINNY Life, LIFE, the number 4, the letter U.com.
Yeah.
And they can get it delivered, they can come to your store, they can get a whole appropriation, and basically it's just pre-made.
It's basically, they put you on this diet, they tell you exactly what to eat, when to eat it, and you follow it, and you will lose more weight than lap band. You'll lose more weight than anything I've ever seen. It's really amazing. I mean, I did the program and lost almost 40 pounds in about 3 months, and I could not believe how well it worked and that I could actually stay on it because the food's actually good. So check it out. I mean, I really got into that because it's rewarding. I love it to see a person that has been struggling with weight their whole life get on the scale. We have this Olympic grade scale that's about $4,000, and it tells you more than you'd ever want to know about yourself. But people get off that thing and do an end zone dance because this thing works. So just check it out.
Yeah, well, like it's to praise what the best meal plan for you is, right?
Yeah, everything's custom made for you, your body type. It'll tell you your visceral fat. It'll tell you your metabolic age. It'll tell you what your ideal weight is. It'll tell you everything you could possibly want to know. And then once you get to the ideal weight with the program, you can stay on it for life.
Which tacos are not on it.
No, I'm fixing to violate.
So we're fixing to violate. Look, I'm on a diet too, so I'm going to take a bite of each. And then anything else off camera, I didn't eat anymore.
Yeah, me neither, Valerie.
So, yeah, Valerie, you hear that. He's still on the plan. Okay, so we're going to put these down. We're going to try it. We do take one bite of each. One bite, everybody knows the rules. You basically rank it. The ranking system I do is like 6 is edible. You know, it's good stuff. It's better than bad. It's not bad.
Yeah.
7, you'd go to that place if it was close by, down the street, which this is. We're going to do Boca 31. And 8 is like I would drive past another place to get to that place, like maybe 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And 9 is like, look, if I got some time, I'm going to drive an hour to get this if I got the time, okay? So we're going to rank it 1 through 9. After we take a bite of all 3, I get the 3 most popular tacos. We're doing tacos now. This one had a chicken pastor, barbacoa, and a ground beef. So we're going to try those 3. Boca 31, I'm going to put it on there. I'm partial to this place. Forget the tacos, get the special. Every day, all day, and no matter what the special. Andreas is a chef there. He makes the menu. It's fantastic all the time. I barely ever get the tacos because I always get the special. So we're going to try it out. Boca 31, we're going to put it on. It's on Dallas Drive. It's right down from our office. Our office, 1003 Dallas Drive. Look, man, people make fun of me, but it's easy. Pink building, American flag on top. Frenchie's Famous trucks out front. There is no easier office to find, and maybe after this week there will be no easier office to get to because right now there's construction that's making it a big pain in the butt. But I think that's over after this week.
Yeah,
and so
by far the ugliest building in the probably in the metroplex.
That's beautiful. It's pink.
Oh, it's a treehouse, man.
Pink building, American flag on top.
Inside, though, we got it tricked out.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. So down the street from that, you pass Los Sobrecitos, which we reviewed, like my first or second review. You keep going down the way, and it's on the right off of Dallas Drive. I'll put the website up here and the address, and it's off of Dallas Drive, Boca 31. Nice little house. Get the special. We're gonna try the tacos. Hold on.
Cool, man.
Yeah, just put it down. keep going. I'll give you the whole tray.
Okay, which one are you in first? This one?
They could probably still pretty much hear us,
The
so I would
B.
say I'm going with mine is gonna be. Man, I can't even see it.
Gosh, look at
Barbacoa. Barbacoa. Next, this looks like the chicken pastor.
Oh, with the P? Yeah.
You got P, I'm going with.
You brought these before to the office.
Yeah. Oh, stay where you are. Water, paper towel. Oh, we had napkins.
Yeah, that's king size.
Ooh, smooth. Y'all saw that. Don't matter, they're looking at the good stuff. And I will tell you while we're looking at the address. Here is 207 South Bell Avenue. That's right, it turns into Bell there. And in Keller, they have a Keller location. That is oh, here we go. 101 Town Center Lane. I feel so bad. I haven't made it out there yet. I guarantee it's fantastic. Chef Andres is the bomb. Shout out to Chef Andres. Here's his picture. Oh, they don't even show a picture. Oh, there he is. Yeah. A whiz. Everything he cooks is good. My wife likes the goat cheese and piñatas, but I wanted to be fair. We've already tried like 3. This is like the 4th place. Tacos in Denton. So we're going to try them all. All right. And so, what do you think?
All right, the first one, the barbacoa, I couldn't believe how juicy the chicken was. Usually, chicken's kind of dry when they try to put that kind of stuff all together.
Oh, yeah.
Man, it worked. So, I'd give it a 7.
All together. All 3 together. You had 3 tacos. What do you think? Overall rating?
8.
8. All right. I'm going to go 8.5. Yeah, I'm going to go 8.5 for the tacos. Now, I know what you're thinking. 8.5. This is one of my favorite places. Look, it's 8.5 for the tacos because, I don't know, you could always improve. It's not my favorite taco place. It's my favorite place of all time. So 8.5 for the tacos. I give the whole restaurant a freaking 9.5. Their specials are bananas. Do not follow them on Instagram if you're in Denton and on a diet, because they post their specials every day, and every day you'll be like, oh, I want that so bad.
Yeah,
they have a new special.
tomorrow.
Oh, God. Yeah. So don't do that. But if you aren't on a diet or you aren't in Denton and just want to see good food, they're on Instagram, Boca31. Thank you for coming, Rcky. I appreciate it. RockyHaire.com. That's up on your screen. Skinny Life, number 4, letter U.com.
Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for coming.
Talking to you. I love talking about this kind of stuff. I loved all your insight about criminal law too, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate you having me.
No, I appreciate you, and thanks guys for watching. Subscribe. All of Rocky's friends subscribe. Maybe I'll have them back. If enough of you subscribe, I'll have them back. I appreciate it, and have a good one, y'all. Hope you enjoyed your lunch.